Hey guys, it's Avondale, and welcome back to another episode of Behind the Walls, where I take you behind the walls of the Noxcrew Gameshow. I'd like to remind you, as always, if you haven't seen today's episode yet, make sure to click the link in the top right-hand corner of your screen so we don't spoil it for you. Now that you've had time to do that, I'm going to turn around here, and I am going to welcome my guest for the day. It's Noxite!
I still haven't finished eating my dinner. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize we were recording.
Oh, what a guy. Hello? Are you here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just finish this bone.
Okay.
I'm kidding. Making lame jokes.
Wow. So I see you get the point of the series then. Even the name of the series is a lame joke. So we're here in Linelock.
Behind the walls, where we always have lame guests.
That's
Hey!
right. The lamer the better. And you're lame 3 times over now,
I'm
right?
the lamest.
Yeah.
Okay, hi.
Hi. So we're at Linelock, and why are you on this episode? Why would I subject myself to you again?
Okay, so I'm on this episode because I am the one who came up with the concept of Linelock. I made a game! I know, it's crazy.
You concepted a game. And he loves his builders so much for building his ideas, is what he meant to say.
I didn't build it, alright? I made, actually, you know what? I think I put some of these blocks down.
I'll bet you did. Wait, the ones you're walking on right now?
Yeah.
Well, those get changed every, 30 seconds in the game.
I remember
based on my
building
redstone,
something.
So, yeah.
I definitely built something on this game.
I'll bet you did.
It might have been the top of the doors or something, I don't know. But, so, yeah. So I concepted Linelock because in the pilot season, right, of episode 6, we played this game called Lockdown. And I loved Lockdown, but I hated it at the same time because it was literally, it only mattered the last 30 seconds of the game, right?
Yeah.
And that's what annoyed me, is that that it was such a fantastic game to watch, and the music was great. I'm sorry, I'm just walking around.
No, you're
the
fine.
Music was great, and I really loved the idea of kind of point capture in grid rooms. So I was thinking of a way, how can you make a game that isn't all about that? It doesn't have that same crapshoot feeling. We remove the kind of time. We removed that kind of timer on it, right? Because Lockdown had a 7-8 minute timer. And it all depends now on what happens in the game for the game to finish.
Right.
And that's how you kind of make the ending matter. So yeah, I thought okay, well, how about I've always wanted to do this game where it's like a push towards each other. I love the games. I love games where two teams pushing against each other, like Domination and stuff like that. So I thought let's put it into a line. I can't remember who came up with the name Linelock. Was that me?
It was either you or me.
I think it was me.
I think it was a temporary placeholder name, and then we just left it. So we're from Gridlock to Lockdown to Linelock.
Lockdown, Linelock. I love these lock games. They're great. The ones that just play around with the doors and the grid rooms. I think they're fantastic. So I originally concepted it, and I think at the beginning it had a few problems. All right, because let me try and how do I say this?
So there was a bunch of issues with the logic behind this game, capping them in order, and the idea was sort of basically, if I own this room, then that should mean that I should turn around here and see red behind me, right? I'm blue team, I should see red behind me. And also, when I won this staircase over, it would flip these stairs going this way, the other way. But basically, there came to a point in the game where if you captured one of these points and then skipped a point and captured the other one, and then the other team passed you and captured one or something, it was totally plausible scenarios. There was a way to basically the game could be won without actually winning it, or you could win it without the game knowing you've won, or something weird, because you could end up coming back to cap that point, but because they were out of order, the doors would be out of sequence and everything would be messed up. And it was just It was a nightmare of logic, and we went through probably 9 different iterations of finding ways to control these doors, and no matter what we did, there was always a way to break it. And it literally led to the point that the game was already on the Dome for one of, I think it was for a filming, and like we knew it was coming on, and I said, look, we're not doing this game because it can be broken. We're rigging it out, and so we rigged it out for like the first time that it was on the Dome. But then we got some help from Niall, actually.
Yeah.
And I think if we go down, I think it's actually still underneath here. This is the way that we were concepting it over here. Oh, I remember it now. I gave it to myself already.
I got it.
This, I remember the way the door was originally going to work. There was 3 states to the door. There wasn't just 2. So there was a stairway going in one direction, a stairway going in the other, and then just a flat one where you could pass both ways. And it was that 3rd state of the door that made it be such an issue. And we didn't want the door to only have 2 states, because then there was no guarantee that the teams could both pass at the same time. And then that was when Niall came on and suggested this thing. Well, what if the stairs faced in opposite directions, so each team could run through? They would just run through on different sides. And admittedly, it took me about 20 minutes to understand what the heck he was suggesting. I was still convinced I could break it in my mind, and that's kind of where what we were trying to figure out down here. But once we thought about it for a while, we realized that it would actually work, and it was just important that that we got the logic correct, and that's what all that mess is over there. But yeah, once
I remember exactly when Niall was suggesting. I didn't get it either.
Yeah,
I was like, what? I don't. Why would they?
It sounded like the stupidest idea in the world until we understood it. And then all of a sudden we were like, oh my god.
Like, when you really think about it, it was stupidly complex to try and get this to work.
Yeah.
I'm surprised we got there in the end.
Yeah, and that wasn't the end of all of our problems, though, and we actually got kind of lucky when we ended up filming it. But there was a few different issues. First of all was the door release mechanism, like how do we respawn them, and I tried about 5 different ideas for that, and finally came up with whatever the heck this is.
Yeah, we went through a load of like ideas, like what's the respawning mechanic, and how can we use that as sort of like a tactic to the game. And I think originally we were going to go with a domination type thing where it's on a timer, and then everyone's just released ever so often. But then there was that idea that came about, like what happens if they only get freed when they all die together?
Yeah, because the issue we had with putting it just on a set timer is, what if one team gets lucky and dies a second before the door opens every time, and the other team gets unlucky and dies a second after the door closes, and then they have to wait another 30. But that was kind of the idea where we thought, what if they all have to die for the door to open? And then all of a sudden you get this really interesting mechanic, and we realized that the fact that we put lava in every room was going to matter, because
we didn't originally have lava in it.
We had lava in every room, but it wasn't accessible, and we made it accessible.
In the second room where the pipes. Can we go there right now?
Yeah, let's head back up.
It's so dead obvious that we've like we made it that way.
Just busting in.
Yeah, it was in this room here. So, originally these pipes were just like shut, and we were like, how can we make lava just make it look like it's spilling?
Yeah,
just spilling out. And there we go.
Yeah,
created it.
And all of a sudden, every death mattered for one reason or another. But even though that was finished, we still had one more problem to overcome, and this was probably the most controversial decision we had to make. Quite honestly, we got lucky in the episode that it worked out the way that it did. But basically, the win condition for this game is you have to own every single cap point at once. So blue team, for example, or we're on the yellow team side, yeah. Huh?
Which, by the way, was not the original point.
That's fair too. The original point of the game was just to control the last one, right?
No, it was. We were thinking of having some sort of core at this. Over here, like in this little room.
Inside of their spawn room. So yeah,
and the enemy had to like control all the rooms, and then they had to like obviously control the room so that they can move up, because of the stair rule. And then eventually, when they get to the last room, they can destroy the core, and that would have been the win condition.
Yeah.
But then we realized, obviously, actually it could be more interesting if it was just capturing all points.
Yeah, and the destroying the core was a little bit overcomplicating it as well. Not to mention, it takes a lot of strategy to push all the way through into this final room. Like you saw even in the episode, the Ungentleman I think only got to the other team's room like twice, and there was both times I think there was only 1 or 2 of them that made it there. So it's tough to get everybody pushed through there. But so yeah, we decided the win condition needed to be you capture all 5 points at the same time to win. This left us with an issue, right? Theoretically, that could never happen, right? You could have 2 teams play against each other forever and never have one team hold all 5 points at the same time. And so we're sitting here going, well, what do we want to do to prevent that? Do we want to put a timer on the game? And the worry with putting a timer on the game, let's say you put a 15-minute timer on the game. Great, it ends at 15 minutes, and it's a crapshoot again because it's just whoever happened to have more points wins. So we were thinking, well, what if it's like an aggregate total of how long you've held the points? But then we had to figure out, do you have to completely hold the point? Or do you have to hold most of the point, or do you get a point per block? And how many points do you get? How often do you get them? It was just terrible. So we decided, hey, let's just make it, they have to cap them all for it to win, and that'll be the end of it. And we were like, well, it's risky, and the argument that I made was at least it won't end in any sort of a crapshoot. It'll end because it's entertaining, and if it gets too long, we can always edit it down a little bit and cut it. And Nox is like, yeah, I guess. And then we tested it, and the test almost made this game collapse, because literally we played a game that lasted at least 45 minutes, if not an hour.
Yeah.
The teams.
I remember that. You didn't. We were playing it. I was watching. I wasn't even playing. And I was just sat there just watching, and then suddenly I realized it's 45 minutes. It's been 45 minutes, and no one everyone's playing and they're getting exhausted and when's this gonna end? We're like, Jesus, it's been 45 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, I remember the teams complaining leading up to that, but I mean, it was just the longest game ever. And when they finally won, it was pretty exciting. But we tested it a few more times with a couple different groups of people, and it didn't really play out the same way every single time.
Yeah, I remember one time we finished it at least in 45 seconds.
Yeah, it was just a blitz game, and that's a worry. But at the same time, we knew that we knew that it was unlikely that was going to happen, so we just decided to go with it, and
got lucky.
It was we did get really lucky. The game turned out really well, but a lot of luck came into the fact that it turned out really well. I mean, you look back to last episode with Yeti Set Go, that game, I don't think it mattered how well the people played it. It just worked, right?
Yeah, as the time of the game length varied a lot, it was all down to balancing. I remember when we first tried it, I think we put the respawn time at I don't know, 8 seconds, and it was way too much. It was way too easy. One team would just absolutely obliterate. We bring it down to 5 seconds. It's it's better. Still, still you can get obliterated. Bring it down to 3 seconds, and it just it's almost about right. And it's just really surprising how many how 2 seconds can make such a big difference.
Yeah.
In your respawn time.
Okay. Anyways, so the game happened. Spectator guy was here. I was sad. I wanted to put him in way more games, and I just forgot about him until the finals. And then we decided we better put him in. He was a blue team fan, as always. Yep.
Oh, blue team!
He's just he looks so happy, doesn't he? Wow.
He really does.
What an invention. Okay, anyways.
Because the game was so great.
Right, he was just so excited to be sitting here with a gigantic pole blocking his view of the first part of the course. I mean,
That's,
really,
one floor. That's really one flaw of the game, isn't it?
Well, geez, hilariously, like, take a look at the seat. Like, this is a terrible seat. How would you find a good viewing, like, vantage point to watch this game? Is there anywhere in the stands where this game would look good? I mean, you could see, like, one room at any
There's
point
always
in time.
something blocking something.
Yeah.
Just sit up here.
Wait, how about these?
I know.
Look at these places right up here. Look at these seats. How much
Oh
would you
my
pay to
God.
sit up here?
I would get a refund and kill everyone.
Oh, no kidding. Me too.
So let's talk about the game.
Yeah.
How the game went.
Sure.
Because I was really pleasantly happy with it after I cut it together.
Yeah, it did
looked
turn
at
out
it.
really nice. So it's Ungentleman versus the Evac Crew, the finals of the Noxcrew Gameshow Season
Yeah.
1.
It was a little bit short, 4 minutes, but to be honest, it was just about right.
Yeah.
Like, it. Oh.
And honestly, to be fair, you haven't made the rule video yet, but the rule video will probably be about half that, so...
Just about right.
yeah.
But yeah, so this game was, I think, was fantastic. One, the music was like really good. It suited the game so much, and two, it was that kind of I love that back and forth feel. You know, it's like football when you're just watching the ball go back and forth, and then suddenly, you know, during the middle of the game, something changes up. Right?
Exactly. Like in this game,
Um,
you could tell when something was going down every single time.
Yeah. So, right, the lava. Let's start with that. So many times, someone just accidentally fell in the lava. I think there was one point where, you know, blue team are rushing in, and Soviet Hero just kind of like, was it
Loops
Soviet
in.
or T-Rex?
Yeah, Soviet did it once.
Soviet.
Woody did it once or twice.
Goes
as
like
well.
this. He jumps there and just jumps straight into the lava. Dwitty did it a couple of times, yeah.
Yeah, you can actually make that jump though. I never knew that. Like you can land
from
it
here
up
to
there.
there?
Yeah, if you're clutch. Yeah, I just did it twice.
That's legit. But
And
if you
not
miss,
the third
it's
time.
not
If
worth
you
it.
miss, you're definitely in the lava. Like I don't see the point of trying it. It's one of those things where you have to get it like right on the edge of the slab, or else you bonk your head off the roof.
Yeah. This room was great. I think this probably had the most deaths in it. This room.
Yeah.
Just from simply falling in the lava. There's actually at the end, right at the end, the last push, the last respawn, where Dwitty falls in the lava. They're rushing through this. Dwitty falls in, and Ungentleman are like, oh, Dwitty, what? Oh no! And then Oakley, I think it was Oakley, wasn't it, that ran through?
Yeah.
He just like he forgot. He just left the enemies behind, ran through. Flaming Lemon was taken down by Xertion. Soviet Hero and T-Rex were both here firing the bows. Soviet actually, off camera, it wasn't even caught on camera. He just kind of jumps off and accidentally falls into the lava. You can kind of see his name in the background through the wall.
Yeah.
And then, no, it was T-Rex, sorry, because Soviet Hero is the final member.
Yeah.
Was left behind. And then Soviet Hero comes into this room, starts changing these blocks and moving that, you know, towards the yellow side.
Yeah.
While
And
Oakley
as he's
is moving
doing
toward
that,
the blue side.
Oakley's a room over and doing the
Yeah.
same exact thing, and they're moving mirrored to each other. And
It was such a beautiful sequence.
it really was, and it just goes to show you that this was like the understanding that Ungentleman had of the concept, despite only just learning about it. Like they instantly knew what they had to do. Oakley took this capture point here. He moved back over and then killed himself. And by killing himself, he got his teammates out, and they were able to not only take over the cap points Soviet took, but they knew to not kill him, and then they just ran by him and won the game.
Yeah, because if they killed him, his team would have respawned and took back the final room. On
Yeah,
the blue
they could have
side.
took back the hardest
And then-
room for them to get. And it was just, you know, that sequence right there, if Soviet had thought to kill himself before Oakley did, they would have had a really good chance to pull back and even the territorial advantage that Ungentleman had with them at the beginning.
Yeah, I mean, Dwitty and Xertion were stood, you know, in their room at the back, dead, and they knew exactly what they needed to do.
Yeah.
You know, they were like, no. I mean, come down here.
Yeah.
This room. You can actually see the. We actually have a display on the roof to show the room captures, and you can actually see it from the dead boxes.
Yeah, you can
So,
see it from
it's just here.
essentially everywhere on the map. Like, there's a few spots here where you're getting close to the stairs that you can't see it, but this scoreboard up here updates. So this, like, for yellow team starting over here, this is yellow team's room. It always starts from the right, and so blue team starts from the right as well. And you can see here underneath it, if you look straight up, you can also see what the rooms are. And somebody blocked off the center here that wasn't supposed to be blocked off, but I guess it really doesn't matter because you can just look right below you to find out what was going on with that one. So towards the beginning of the game was actually almost over. It was like a minute 15 into it, and there was a battle in the last room for Ungentleman for the last cap point here. And Flaming Lemon was actually in a 2-on-1 there, and it was an interesting priority play by Ungentleman. They were going for the jugular, right? So I think it was Zerjian who was in here first, and he started breaking the wool, but he had Lemon chasing behind him, killing him. If he had turned around and just done some damage to her, just a slight adjustment in priority, that game would have been over in a minute 20. But Lemon absolutely clutched that with the double kill and then the kill trade to sort of.
If Dwitty won that fight between him and Flaming Lemon,
it was definitely over. There's more than enough time to capture one cap point in the time that the door has to respawn. And it would have been instantly over.
Well, you don't know. Some people really muddle their inventory, and they're just like, "Oh, I can't get the shears!"
Or they press E when they're coming around the corner.
Yeah.
Oh, poor Ben. But really, all in all, Linelock turned out to be, like we said earlier, we got lucky, but it turned out to be a really good game. It was fantastically entertaining to watch. Especially on the night of during the tech chat, like everybody in the tech chat was feeling nervous for the outcome. Like there was just that sense of tension in the air because we knew that this was the match that decided the season of our work, and just the attitude that everybody had in the chat was really fantastic. Oh, look at the shoddy craftsmanship. You see this here?
Oh,
some people, man, I'm telling you. And I noticed this earlier too. Look right here. You see this right here?
Oh, what?
Unbelievable.
That must have been my building skills.
No kidding. No, there's somebody who needs to get fired today. I don't know who it's gonna be, but let's make an example out of someone.
Okay. So yeah, I'm kind of curious what would happen if we were to try and play Linelock again, like in some sort of match somewhere. See how that turns out, because I feel like this is a game where many different outcomes can.
Yeah, there's a ton of strategy that's involved with this game, and it would be really interesting to see after people watching this episode how it would get played, like how the strategies would adjust. This is the type of game that really, I mean, if we wanted to switch out a couple of these rooms and create a couple different versions of this, like this could be a pretty competitive game mode. Okay, so thanks to Noxite for coming on the show to talk about Linelock.
No problem.
Yeah.
Anytime.
What is this? Oh, wow.
I really want to see Fable Hunters.
Oh, fantastic. Yeah, it was.
Did someone pay you to do this?
No,
Did you plan that all along?
I had actually never seen this until just now.
Liar.
I'm actually, I wish I was lying, but I'm not. No, Linelock turned out really, really well. We got lucky, but what a game to watch.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's see what we can do with the lock mechanism next time.
Yeah.
In Scatterlock.
Yeah, Scatterlock. There you go. Post your lock names in the comments for us, so we can get some ideas. Maybe it'll make a game. Who knows?
Tower Lock.
Tower Lock.
Bridge Lock.
Bridge Lock. There we go.
Oh man.
Bridge 3 Lock. There we go.
Oh man.
The Loch Ness Monster.
No.
Aw. So until next time, I've been Avondale. Thanks for watching.
And I've been Noxite. Thanks for watching.
And I've been Avondale. Thanks for watching.
And I've been Noxite. I've been watching.
You've been watching?
I'm watching you.
Oh. Through the window or? No, good. No, you're not out there. Oh! I had to check just to be sure.
Came and sat back down. I'm in your face.
Yeah.
So, actually, what we've managed to do, I mean, okay, this is lightly, right? Take this lightly, but we've managed to make. Actually, you know what? Just cut that out. I was about to make a stupid comment. I just realised how stupid it was.
I'll say it anyways.
Oh, you're not even cutting it out. You're not even gonna cut this out. This is proof that Noxite just thought of something stupid.
Say it.
No, I'm not saying it.
Say it.
No.
If it's stupid, I'll cut it out. Say it.
Wait, let me think about it a little bit more. Hold on.
Okay. I'll just sit here. Hang on. Let me get a chair.
You know, stuff. I don't know. Anyway, back to the point.
So we're here in Linelock.
Behind the walls, where we always have lame guests.
That's right. The lamer the better. And you're lame 3 times over now,
I'm
right?
the lamest.
Yeah.
Okay, hi.
Hi. So we're at Linelock, and why are you on this episode? Why would I subject myself to you again?
Okay, so I'm on this episode because I am the one who came up with the concept of Linelock. I made a game! I know, it's crazy.
You concepted a game. Hey guys, it's Avondale, and welcome back to another episode of Behind the Walls, where I take you behind the walls of the Noxcrew Gameshow. I'd like to remind you, as always, if you haven't seen today's episode yet, make sure to click the link in the top right-hand corner of your screen so we don't spoil it for you. Now that you've had time to do that, I'm going to turn around here, and I am going to welcome my guest for the day. It's Noxite!
I still haven't finished eating my dinner. Hold on.
Oh, okay.
I didn't realize we were recording.
Oh, what a guy. Hello? Are you here?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me just finish this bone.
Okay.
I'm kidding. Making lame jokes.
Wow. So I see you get the point of the series then. Even the name of the series is a lame joke.
In the pilot season, right, of episode 6, we played this game called Lockdown. And I loved Lockdown, but I hated it at the same time because it was literally, it only mattered the last 30 seconds of the game, right?
Yeah.
And that's what annoyed me, is that that it was such a fantastic game to watch, and the music was great. I'm sorry, I'm just walking around.
No, you're
the
fine.
music was great, and I really loved.
And he loves his builders so much for building his ideas, is what he meant to say.
I didn't build it, alright? I made, actually, you know what? I think I put some of these blocks down.
I'll bet you did. Wait, the ones you're walking on right now?
Yeah.
Well, those get changed every, 30 seconds in the game based on my redstone,
something.
So, yeah.
I definitely built something on this game.
I'll bet you
It
did.
might have been the top of the doors or something, I don't know. But, so... Yeah, so I concepted Linelock because